So guys, let me give you a little bit of background. We are headed to pick up a car to detail right now that I haven't seen in several years. It was actually my old race car. I had bought it in 2007 and I sold it to a friend in 2014, and I was under the impression that the car was parted out and was chopped up to finish several other unfinished projects and that I would never see it again. So long story short, because I work for Peterbilt, I travel around and make sales calls. I was near this friend's address several weeks ago and happened to give him a call, and he said, hey, why don't you go over and check on the house? I'm out of town. You'll see something interesting in the driveway. So I actually headed over there, pulled into the driveway, and there it was. Still had my license plate on it and everything. It has no motor, no transmission, a stock 10-bolt rear end, but it is a 1996 Pontiac Trans Am. It's not a WS6. It is not anything fancy. It wasn't even really fast. Maybe for its day. It had an LT1 in it with a pretty big advanced inductions cam. Other than that, factory heads, factory bottom end, bolt-ons, tune cam, and about 150 horsepower of nitrous. So maybe on spray the car might have been 500 horsepower. I never thought I'd see it again. It's been sitting since it was purchased from him in the driveway collecting molds. So I thought it would be a pretty cool video to kind of drive over there and get it, pick it up, trailer it home, do a full detail and paint correction to it. Obviously the car doesn't run, has no drivetrain in it whatsoever, but it would be interesting to re-detail a car that I kind of hacked together when I was a lot younger and had no clue what was going on. I'm curious to see what kind of finish we can achieve with the tech that exists now and kind of the skills that I've accrued over the last couple years. So I got about a little over an hour drive right now. We are in the 2021 Ram that you guys have seen in the other videos. So we just grabbed a U-Haul trailer. We're headed over there now to pick up the car. Unfortunately, it is raining. So stay tuned. We're going to time lapse some of this stuff and get it back, get it restored, and who knows, maybe someday it'll inspire him to get it back on the road. So as I was making the trip over there, I had a lot of time to kind of contemplate what the plan was for the car. I think kind of the original intention was it'd make a good channel feature, go get a car I used to own back, bring it home, detail it, and maybe it would inspire a friend to put it back together, get it on the road. So I've been friends with Dan, the current owner of the car now, since we went to a vocational school together. So this would have been 2002 or 3 that we probably met. And we kind of were car guys from day one and both bought F-bodies back in the day. I had a Firebird at first, and he always had a 97 WS6 Trans Am, and eventually I ended up getting this 96 Trans Am, getting rid of the Firebird. And I remember the day I went and picked it up, man. It was sitting at a guy's place over in Ohio. It had a vanity plate on it that said "My Lil TA." It had a Flowmaster 40 Series catback. Other than that, it was bone stock. I had a cold air intake ordered and delivered for it before I got the car home, and I remember taking it to the track with just an intake and an exhaust and thinking, this thing's going to be a rocket ship. It's a 6-speed LT1, makes 1,000,000 horsepower. Pretty sure it ran like 14.6 at 94, 95 miles an hour. Never went fast in the quarter mile. It was an 8th mile car. A couple times it dipped into the mid to high 7s in the 8th mile on spray, so probably a low 11-second car. Nothing crazy, but really excited to have it back, really excited to see what we can do with this thing. So here you'll see us getting it loaded up in the rain. Of course it doesn't roll, we had to pump up the tires, so just kind of sit back and enjoy. This is going to be a multi-part series, so I apologize in advance. I will be cutting the videos up, but trying to pump out a lot of content with this specific car because it means a lot. installed. That was actually really easy.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
That could have been horrendous. See the beads are well. Last step, buzz. If anybody's getting it, it's me. It's my car. It's all here, huh?
April 13th.
So it turned out to be a crappy day, but we got the Trans Am loaded. Towing it back right now. Probably just gonna get it detailed, freshened up to see what it looks like, but also kicking around the idea of maybe trying to buy the car back and just put together a nice little street car and kind of make it a channel project. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Should I buy it back? Should I take the time to restore it and have my kind of like my childhood car back? Let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But for now, we got about an hour drive back. Probably going to stop and have a beer with an old friend here, and curious to get the car unloaded and see what it looks like under some good lighting. But we'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so we finally got the 96 Trans Am home, and I wheeled it out into the driveway. I've kind of got it wedged at the end here right in front of my truck. I want to get some before shots in the sunlight, but you guys got to check out how crusty this thing is. It's going to be an incredible transformation when we can get it done. Just want to get a lot of before shots here. It's kind of bittersweet working on a car you used to own, knowing you don't own it anymore, and you're going to make it look amazing and then not get it back. But yeah, let's do a walk around. So, a little backstory. Long time ago, I had it parked out in front of my apartment down near Pittsburgh, and somebody had backed into this rear quarter, and it got painted. And ever since it got painted, I'm not a body guy, something was spilled or sprayed on the door and front fender that caused it to peel within the next year. So that's why you're seeing such a drastic discoloration on it. But look at the filth on this car. Are some fingerprints from us loading it. We had to load it in the rain. This thing is just nasty. Such a shame. Every bit of it. Where the clear failed on the door here. You can see there's still some decent paint over there. Obviously there's no amount of detailing that's going to be clean up. It's sitting a little high because it has no engine, no transmission. dirt doesn't even come off at this point. Interior's in surprisingly good shape. Some lifters from the engine. Huh. Valve spring information from when I used to modify stuff. 127,000 miles on it. 127,666. Old Alpine head unit from back in the day, before everything was touchscreen. Can't fix. Interior in this car was actually in really good shape. Curious to see if we're going to be able to save this, or if it's failed. Guess we'll see. Doing a lot of scrubbing. Tons of swirl marks from when I knew nothing about detailing. So we're going to get it pushed back into place, bring the pressure washer around and get started on it. I'll take you guys along for the ride. Guys, that's where I'm going to cut it off for the first video. In the next one, we're going to get it rinsed off and washed off and back in the garage. But for now, this is kind of a sneak peek of the next couple episodes. This is the car we're going to be working on. We're going to see with today's tech and my knowledge now how good we can get this car to look. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining. Make sure you guys follow along and subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you do, and drop me a comment. Should I buy this thing when it's finished?